Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. We're back for another show. We're closing up our year here, Sid.
I know, it's coming to an end.
Yeah, my name is Bruce Lee. My co-host is Sid Roeder. Good morning, Sid.
Good morning, Bruce.
It's good to be here again. And as we are coming up on the year, we have what happens at the end of the year, which is holidays. And we were notified. I got a copy of this. I don't know what you'd call this. It's kind of it's not a memo. I don't know. I'll ask my guest. Cindy, what would you call this? A suggestion, list of suggestions for holidays?
I call it an article, yeah. So everything that I do is research-based, so we can call it an article, yeah.
Perfect, since we're semi-professional journalists, I suppose, so we don't know the word article, but thanks for teaching it to us. Okay, well, this article is on how to deal with loneliness during the holidays, and so Cindy Jenkins, who is a extension professor for Utah State University, living in the Utah County area, is our guest today. So welcome, Cindy.
Oh, thank you so much. Happy to be here, and this is a very interesting topic to me, so I'm really excited to share some good information.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. Before we get started, though, let's have Sid talk about our sponsor.
Absolutely. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group. That is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and efforts. Wow, I'm having a rough time today. I've said this a million times. Professionals that have dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, their family member, and really anybody who cares. And we do so via this show. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniors.cv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And lastly, if you'd like to have us invite someone that interests you to the show, you can call me personally at 435-512-6406.
Thank you, Sid. And thanks to the Empowering Seniors Group for sponsoring our show and allowing us to put this information out there for everybody. Cindy, we are on the phone. We don't usually do that. This is the first time that Sid and I have done an interview over the phone on the radio.
Oh, and I so appreciate your making accommodations for me. Very nice.
It's awesome. Well, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got involved in your subject area?
Sure. Okay. So I'll tell you that I've worked in nonprofit for a little while. I have an undergrad in fitness and wellness, and then I did my master's degree in public administration. And just for the longest time, I went and I helped work for Head Start. And then in addition to that, I have always just found social relationships very fascinating. And so for my position right now, I kind of get to be a little bit of a jack of all trades. I get to work in a few different areas, but this is an area where I've done some really good intense studying and helped with some research projects and things like that. And so what I've done here is I've collected some different research articles and kind of just put them into a little bit of a summary for us and use them as just like a kind of a list of good things that you can do to help loneliness. So that's kind of my background, and then maybe another little tidbit about me, I love to be outside. So if I'm not at work, you frequently find me out in the mountains, hanging out, having fun.
Thank you, Cindy. So let me dive a little deeper into the research you were talking about that you were involved in. As you probably know, our show is a little bit more geared towards seniors, which doesn't mean that others are not listening. And I think loneliness is not age-specific. But can you maybe talk a little bit about the results of the research that you've done?
Yeah, so something that I've done is I've definitely looked at a lot of needs assessments, so I just want to start there, and then kind of go towards the research, because for our areas all around Utah, a lot of people do struggle with feelings of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and then some of that can even lead to mental illness, suicidal ideation, and so that's kind of my passion point, where I'm really trying to help people avoid this area where things can feel a little bleak. And so for my things that I've done mainly on research is for youth. It is a little bit more youth-directed, where we created a confidence curriculum. We did a camp. We had some kids come, and then we did our before and after. We did our surveys, and now we're turning it into an after-school program. So we did this wonderful hands-on research with these kids, and helped them out to try and help them build some good confidence skills. And then in addition to that, I've done a lot of what we call secondhand research, where you are doing a lot of this, you're reviewing different articles, and then you kind of research articles and journals, and then you kind of put other information together based off of that in the form of like the article that I wrote, or fact sheets, or things like that, or even put it into a curriculum like we did. So that's a little bit about what we've done. Yeah.
So I'm guessing this fits under the wellness portion of your education.
Right, exactly. I feel like it all kind of ties in, because if you're talking about something like helping people avoid loneliness or helping them build resilience skills, a lot of it kind of goes back. Like the tools, many of them are very similar. Yeah.
I'm curious, is there any motivation here personal to you, someone that's close to you and your family that brought this up for you, or is this just something you observed in the community?
I come from a home that is not perfect, so I can tell you guys that. I have a close family member with a mental illness, and so I think that kind of sparked me at a young age to be thinking about it a lot, and to do a lot of this kind of self-help kind of work, right? To do it myself, and then to look and see how I could help influence the lives of others with it. So yeah, I do have a little spark there, where I just really want to be helping people who might be struggling in their circumstances. Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy. We've got about 2 minutes left. So what I do want to ask you is what kind of things, because we're up in Cache Valley, what kind of services are you able to offer up here in Cache Valley?
Okay, so up there in Cache Valley, it's a little bit harder for me to get up there and teach classes. You do have somebody who's local. Her name is Jenna Dickman, and she can teach, but she does more things that are nutrition related. She does some help with youth as well and confidence related classes, so she might be able to help you there. For myself, I can also teach remotely. I can help teach classes that might go statewide. And then we have tons of information on our website for relationships, health and wellness. And it's all research-based, like I said. And so that is a wonderful just wealth of knowledge where you can jump on our website and learn so much in just a fast amount of time.
So the classes that you teach, are these tuition classes that you sign up for and pay tuition for, or are these community service classes? How does that work?
They're more community-directed classes. So what I love about Extension is we're kind of an extension of the university, right? But what it feels like to us right now, this has been a long-time program. It's been going on for like over 100 years. But in our time right now, what it feels like is nonprofit meets the university. So they're just community-based. On occasion, they might have a small fee, but in general, the classes are free. Yeah, so lots of free, healthy information.
Okay, thank you. We are coming up on our first break here. This is the Senior Moments Show. Again, we are sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to get more information on the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com. And the CV stands for Cache Valley. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG and they will take care of you.
It's tough knowing how to care for an aging parent. Mom has always been there for me, but now I need to be there for her. When we found out she needed surgery, I wondered how I could attend to her needs and still be mom to my kids. I was so relieved to learn about transitional rehab at Maple Springs in North Logan. From the nurses to the physical therapists, it was like their whole staff was focused on helping Mom get better. Maple Springs in North Logan was an answer to my prayers.
Learn more at maplespringsnorthlogan.com or call 753-9400.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. One of the ways we help loved ones stay in their home is by assisting with daily tasks. These may include bathing, meal preparation, medication reminders, and housekeeping. We even help with shopping, transportation, and errands. Most of all, we offer a trusted level of care. Let us help you live your best life possible with Comfort Care. This is Bruce, and you can call me at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
Did you know 10,000 baby boomers qualify for Medicare every day? Did you know that you'll start to get swamped with mail about Medicare 6 months before your 65th birthday? Did you also know it doesn't cost anything to use an insurance agent to help you navigate through all those offers? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. Let me help you understand all the offers you're receiving and find the plan that fits best for your situation. Call me today at 435-890-8155.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us today, we're visiting with Cindy Jenkins. She is an assistant professor with Utah State University Extension, and she specializes in home and community. And she wrote an article earlier this month about combating loneliness during the holidays, and that's up on Cache Valley Daily's website if you'd like to go check that out. And we would like to we're just kind of going through it and talking about what some of the challenges are for people as holidays come up. And Cindy, why don't you talk a little bit about why you wrote this article, maybe some of the key points.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I just want to say, too, as I wrote this article, I did kind of have, I was thinking about people who are either single or maybe who might be experiencing loneliness. And then as I kind of dived into the research a little bit more, I recognized that everyone struggles with loneliness, right? So there are a bunch of different parts to the article that I'd love to go into a little bit more.
Absolutely. And maybe for seniors in specific, the holiday season is a time when they're not closely connected with family, where loneliness sets in for seniors also, yes. So maybe we can get into some of the items you have listed out in your article as being helpful.
Okay, so the helpful things that you can do, the number one thing I'd say is service, right? Because a lot of times people feel lonely because of some kind of social isolation. So kind of helping yourself, but a lot of it is it's a perceived sense where you perceive yourself as being lonely. So it's a great way to kind of get yourself out of your own kind of little loneliness bubble by thinking of others. That's a great first step.
That's a good one. Sometimes you're feeling lonely. It's kind of a mixed bag, right? I mean, you kind of are maybe in a little bit of a funk, and you don't want to get out and do anything. What would be a suggestion? I agree. It seems like service is a good way to get outside yourself, and that helps you to kind of get out of that. But when you're stuck there, suggestion on like taking the first step. Where do you go?
Okay, so especially if you're kind of more homebound, right? Some good things that you can do is I've heard good things where you can just if you've got a little cell phone, you can send a text message to someone, just kind of thanking them for who they are, for what they've done for you, or just to reach out, check on somebody, see how they're doing, or even just to send like a positive note. That's probably the number one easiest thing that you can do is send a text, make a phone call. And those are definitely service things that you can do for those around you. You don't even need an organization or a place to go.
Thank you, Cindy. Just listening to you and Bruce, I had a thought that brought me to a question, because you've mentioned that Utah has a high rate of depression, and I just realized listening to you that what's your take on the fact that I do feel that people are actually very connected, or even, I've got one child that is currently attending USU and obviously has a lot of interaction with other people, but you can be in a crowd and be lonely.
Okay, so I think this is a fabulous question, and that is because there are some indicators or causes when people are most likely to be lonely, like if they've lost a spouse or a loved one, or if they have like a physical impairment. However, that doesn't mean that just because you're not in that situation that you don't have occasional moments of loneliness. I think that anyone can have those. And all the research and data shows, like, it can happen to any of us at any time. You might just be having a moment where you feel a little disconnected and you feel lonely.
I think it does happen to all of us at some point, and whether we're dealing with something more serious or even something simple, these suggestions can kind of help bring you out, give you opportunities to do something different. Let's cover a few more of the others that you've mentioned here.
Okay, next one is social relationships, right? And so I think to your point as well of, like, sometimes you could be surrounded by loved ones, right? And so, but then still feel a little bit lonely. So whether you are or not, it's always a good idea to just kind of reach out to these friends who are around you. Or even if they're, like, maybe not physically close to you, reach out, right? That's the number one thing to do, is to send that phone call, send that text message, make the phone call, send a letter, send a gift, anything that kind of gets you, invite someone over, do something to get yourself out of that comfort zone and into your social relationships.
That's definitely good advice. So the next one that comes up on your list here is, I think that is probably the most intriguing one to me. It is self-love.
Mm-hmm. And I think this one, it has a lot to do with this kind of perceived idea of this perceived sense of loneliness, right? Because I think sometimes if we're feeling a little socially isolated, it's easy to kind of be hard on yourself. And so what you really want to do in that moment is to say, hey, like, I don't need to be hard on me, and I can really love me in this moment by doing something nice for yourself, right? And so whatever that looks like, a little gift, a spa day, or even just giving yourself a little bit of good quality time with you, all great things, whatever works for you.
That's an interesting one, because it seems like we are hardest on ourselves, and we say things to ourselves that we would never say to somebody else.
I know, right?
And our best friend, if our best friend was saying that to themselves, we would stop them. But this idea of self-love, it almost feels a little weird. It's a lot easier for me to say, wow, you're just not very good at that, than it is to say, wow, you're exceptional at that. Right? Doesn't it sound weird even to say?
It kind of does, right? And so even just switching some of our language for ourselves and to others can really help, right?
Yeah, I agree. Next one, gratitude.
Okay, gratitude. And of course, this is our season to be grateful, right? It's Thanksgiving time that just happened. It's Christmas time when we all want to focus on being grateful, like in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, where we don't want to be a Scrooge. Let's be grateful, right? And circumstances can be hard, but focusing more on the good things can really help lift your attitude.
I'd just like to add something to that. I just interrupted Sid. She was just about to jump in. So my wife's a teacher, and she does a gratitude journal with her students. And every day they have to write down 3 things that are different than anything they've written before that they're grateful for. And at first, those things are easy, but as you go, it starts to get a little more challenging, where you might say, I'm grateful for the headlights on my car. Or something like that. But it does, as you start thinking about things that you're grateful for, it does change your attitude.
Yeah, definitely. And especially, I think sometimes the surface level things, if you've got to write that down that day, that's great. And then also just remembering, like, how much we've got, right? Where we've got food to eat, we've got warm clothes, good people. There's so much to be grateful for.
Thank you, Cindy. And that brought us right to our second break here. I hope you're all enjoying the things and the good ideas we're getting to avoid loneliness. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
This is Mark Thurston with White Pine Funeral Services. The best time to plan is when you have time to plan. Having a prearranged funeral gives peace of mind for everyone involved. White Pine will customize your final wishes to fit your needs, from a traditional burial to cremation to a custom headstone. White Pine also accepts prearranged plans from other mortuaries, and we will absorb any transfer or revocation fees. No penalty to you. Visit whitepinefunerals.com or come and see us for more information.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most. Want an inexperienced surgeon?
Okay, nurse, I'm ready for the scalpel.
How about an inexperienced airline pilot?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and I'm terrified.
Experience matters, and we have it.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty. I am a senior real estate specialist.
I'd love to meet with you face-to-face and give you a free consultation and market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
This is Brian Erickson for the Sunshine Minute. Each day, our nurses, CNAs, cooks and servers, housekeepers, laundry staff, music, recreation therapy teams, office staff, receptionists, and many more arrive around the clock. These heroes show up ready and willing to serve and protect our residents and clients. We are so grateful to our dedicated team. On behalf of the Board of Sunshine Terrace Foundation and our community, thank you to all of our employees for keeping us safe. We bring more to life together.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us, we are talking with Cindy Jenkins. She is a USU Extension professor specializing in home and community. And you know what? I just realized I don't know where you're from.
Oh, I am from Utah.
Okay, yeah, that's not very specific. I mean, I don't need your address, but are you from Utah originally? You live down in the Provo area, right? Is that?
Oh my gosh, I grew up in Kearns,
okay.
And then I moved to Provo for school, and I never left. I just found a lot of great jobs here. So, yep.
Well, let's not diminish that, Bruce. Utah's a great place to be.
I'm not saying it's bad. Utah's great. I just want to know where she's from, so we hadn't asked that. So
yeah, no, great.
Anyway, well, we were talking about we talked about the article and some of the great ideas that are here, and during the break we were talking about some of the real situations that maybe some people are feeling out there. And at Christmas time, as Sid mentioned, there's a lot of older people. She mentioned a lot of older women maybe are out there. I'm thinking about our particular situation, our family. We're recent empty nesters, and so we're on our off year this year, which means the kids are not we're not having them at our house. And so I don't know, what kinds of things do you see, Cindy, and some more suggestions maybe?
Well, it's interesting because some of the different causes of loneliness. I mean, we do have a potential demographic here of single women who might be struggling a little bit more. It's also interesting to note, though, that a lot of people who have either recently lost a spouse, who have some kind of disability, maybe who've had a recent change in financial situation, these are all people who might be struggling a little bit.
Okay. Do you also feel that the weather has an impact on this?
Oh, absolutely, right. I mean, I think we've all heard about seasonal depression. And I haven't studied that a ton, but I know it's absolutely real. Yeah, the weather can affect us.
As I'm sitting here thinking about some of the things that you've said and thinking about maybe people that are dealing with this, it seems like the key is to take action. To do some action, and the thing that you don't want to do is take action. Right? Yes. When you're in those moments and it's like, I don't feel like doing anything, I'm just not going to. But that really is the moment where you got to do it, right? That's you just do it.
This is 100% true, right? Where it's usually in those moments where especially because there can be a lot of coping mechanisms that kind of numb you from the pain, where you might be wanting to distract with TV or just kind of living in your past memories. If you can kind of help get yourself out of that a little bit, and like you said, just taking one step, right? Like either if it's just to get out of your room, to turn off the TV for a few minutes, to go out on a walk if that's something that you're able to do. All of those things, just that one little step really helps get you into the next phase of good healing, right?
So how do you help people with your classes to build those strategies? Do you have a sheet that they get to fall back on? Because I know from family experiences too that, just like Bruce said, that's hard to do. So how do you get out of that funk and do that step and call somebody or think about what you're grateful for?
Okay, well, it's really good to create habits or rituals that will help. They'll help you be in the right mindset to do this anyway. So usually a lot of what we do in class is it's very hands-on, where we hand someone a gratitude journal when they get there, and we say, okay, you can take notes from your class sessions on this gratitude journal today, and then we go through various activities to help people do things to get more tools in their tool belt, things like communication, right? Good communication, proactive steps in your life, and even just knowing some of the definitions of confidence and resilience really help.
I just have to jump on the gratitude journal thing. My wife will be so proud of me.
Yeah.
But she is she teaches in the sixth grade, and she this has been a profoundly impactful program that she has done in her class, where she's just seen a change with the students as they go through and do these activities. And so, just in the spirit of, if you don't know what to do and want to do something simple, because a journal doesn't need to be a book, it can be a piece of paper, it could be a paper bag, it doesn't matter. But if you just get into this habit of maybe writing 3 things down that are different, it just starts to change your mindset a little bit, how you think about things, and starts to maybe bring a little light to things that can be good, not necessarily bad all the time. I guess, we haven't mentioned how to get in contact with your class, Cindy. How would somebody sign up?
Great, of course. So the easiest thing to do, I usually come and teach classes at a center or a place where there's already an established group. So the senior center would be a perfect example. You can feel free to call me at 385-268-6538, or you can email me at cindy.jenkins@usu.edu.
And I also have another question that just came to my mind. As you are educating people, do you also have other resources that you can refer people to?
Absolutely. Okay, I know I mentioned the website before, the Utah State University Extension website. We've got tons of great resources. If you just do a Google search for Utah State University Extension, there's like a relationships page that's really good in this area, and then there's also the health and wellness page. Both of them have lots of information that can help in these areas.
Super, Cindy. We're already coming up here on the end of our show, so maybe one last time, if you could mention the phone number where you can be reached.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 385-268-6538.
Thank you. This is the Senior Moments Show. Again, we were sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about Empowering Seniors, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. Thanks for coming in, Cindy, and we hope you tune in again next week.